Welcome one, welcome all. How you doing? Welcome to another Arcast. We're gonna try something a little bit different today. I was looking at the corner, and it's basically I was just thinking, what can I do with the preview menu? And I figured, maybe instead of using just pure reference, which is the thing I use to gather and collect all my references, I'll just put it in a different window in Paint Tool SEA. You can have it as a floating window, and then you can have that as a separate window in OBS. And I was like, you know what? That looks pretty cool. So now you have all my references, and you get to see what I see when I get to do a title card. Isn't that neat? This is the title card for the Noid. The Noid episode of Familiar Faces. And I was inspired, of course, by the because singing killed my grandmother meme. The one in Trolls. The one everyone, it's supposed to be a really serious, dramatic moment. And it kind of is within the movie. But the delivery is just... The delivery and the notion is a little bit ridiculous on its face value. Of course, it's a horrible tragedy for Justin Timberlake troll, but still. Yeah, you can see me just sort of working it was a little weird. I had to figure out how to capture the style and sort of squish the Noid, which is this basically very 90s character design. With, kind of like okay, let's reverse engineer this. The Trolls aesthetic is fairly simplistic. It's simple shapes, it's soft curves, it's there's not a lot of sharpness to it, there's not a lot of detail to the Trolls. The detail comes from the textures. You got a lot of glitters, and you got a lot of hair textures, and you got a lot of fuzz textures. Back in the 90s, you got that same sort of clay texture going on just from working with the material. But you can see that the Noid's face is way more detailed in the sort of wrinkles and curves. So it was a bit of a challenge to sort of squish down that figure, beef up the arms a little bit, and also elongate the head. Figure out how to make this sort of... keep the elongated parts of the Noid, while at the same time making it sort of similar enough to the troll style. Noid autocorrect. Fish and chips, if anyone wants to know. Oh, just popping in to help everyone now. Oh, very good. Fish and chips sounds wonderful. Encoder overload. Consider turning down your video settings. Now, I had before we move on, before we move on with the Noid subject, I had a hell of a time the other day with OBS. It really crapped the bed for some reason. I think that's because I'm now trying to capture this footage in 60 FPS. As opposed to just the 24 and the 30. I think it just looks a lot smoother. But apparently, OBS is kicking that off. I did a thing where now we're only... Yeah, I can tell that it's now starting to maybe affect the glasses. I wonder if it's because if I just switch that off, what would happen? Would the encoder go back to normal? I hope I'm not still recording in MKV. That would suck. But anyway, the footage was so delayed in the... Wait, it's not the chat, is it? Hold on. I'm gonna get rid of the chat. And listen, we're just doing hot fixes at this point and figuring out what would cause it to overload all of a sudden out of nowhere. Unless it's all the other windows I have opened up. Darn it. I just recently started to do both the Artcasts and the Let's Plays back to back. And I'm wondering if all these, my footage, the prelude, the intro, and the ending files I have in OBS are like screwing it up. Very interesting. I'm going to try something real quick. I wonder if I can go to studio mode. Yes, very good. And then I'm going to get rid of some things. I'm going to get rid of the ending. Are you sure you want to remove this? Yes. Hey, Underwolf. We're doing a few, okay. I don't know if you can still hear me, but OBS is freezing up. Okay, and we're back. I don't know how long we were frozen for a second there, but I just got rid of that. Now I'm going to get rid of the intro. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to get rid of the prelude. Hello there. You really laid into the Noid comeback. Yeah, I did at the tail end. While I was writing that script. While I was writing the script itself, my attitude towards the towards the Noid just completely shifted. And I was like, you know what? I'm just PO'd. Well, it seems to be running okay, even though the thing says that my encoder is off. And let's see, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth stream. I don't know what to tell you, man. Maybe I'll just get rid of this last window and see what we can do. There we go. I got rid of the everything. It's just the stream and us now. Ah, criminy. How far were we in? Where were you, around here, where I was doing the detail work? Okay, that's good. Okay, it says now that the encoder's fine with everything. Everything's fine and dandy now. I didn't know that happened. I didn't know the extra scenes could screw you up. But now I'm going to add you guys back into the mix and see how that works. I had to build a bolt in the pipe. This is basically like the... I didn't know this, but the Noid, I guess he lives in a sewer. Or something. At least he did in the first, like, original cartoons. And, just, yeah, that seemed like a pretty good setting for him. Or at least a setting for this. It mirrors, what's his name? Birch? Bridge? Something like that? Birch, like the tree. Or branch or something. It mirrors him putting his hand on the log and turning back and saying, because, you know, he killed my grandma. Ooh, look at that tangent with the ears. I got to fix that pretty soon. But yeah, I was writing the script. I was like, I'll do something about the Noid. And then I just saw that damn James Corden. Hey, that's a Trolls connection. I just saw that damn quarantine's over bullshit, and I just started thinking about that damn Snickers commercial and how the press statement on what was it? It was the press statement on My Brother, and Me. How they were so super hyped. They were like, oh, maybe it was like the year 2020 that brought the Noid back. I was like, just... Ugh. So yeah, I just changed my tune midway through the... And it reflects how, just you feel different as a kid from an adult. I mean, I can still appreciate the artistic nature that goes into a lot of these commercials. But you can also just look at it and think like, well, this is like a really annoying Asterix on Ice? You found an Asterix on Ice? I never even heard of Asterix on Ice. But anyway, it was just my commentary about how things change and you just kind of get annoyed by it and everything. Hey everyone, I saw your review of the Noid at the end. Man, that was a whole deep you went on. Right on. Thank you, Omar. But let's change the subject real quick because I got very excited when I discovered this technique. It's not horribly... It's just an airbrush technique, and I just figured something out. Usually, here, I'll just show you. I'll just do a little repeat because I want to talk about this. I was originally going to just have the colored lines and then color it in, and I thought, why not? I'll just give it a shot. I'll just try and do something. And then I used the blur tool to blend in all the different shapes. And of course, you can see me adding some highlight to this direction of the character, and then some shadows around that end, and then using the blend tool. I don't know why I didn't realize this earlier. You can just use color lines, like just color lines, and then fill in the shapes. Whenever I try to paint or use digital paint, what I would do is I would start with the shape, because that's what you do when you're working with watercolor, or that's what you do when you're working with actual materials, is that you start with the shape. You start with the shade of the shape, because it's very difficult to work backwards. You can't start with a line and then work backwards and then manipulate that line to blend in with the shape. But in digital media, you can totally manipulate that line after the fact, after you draw the line and then make the shape and then blend in the line like I'm doing there. It was a totally like eureka moment for me. And I did it on a whim. It was insane. That's why I spent like maybe about roughly, like I started this, I was like, I'll just get it done. I'll just get the title card done. And I'll do a quick drawing of the Noid. I'll just ink it out. It'll be like the Trolls thing, and it'll be fine. And then I saw I could do that, and I went on this whole thing. It was like, okay, well now I'm gonna try and digitally paint this and make it look nice. Because my goodness, I am happy with the results. And I could do that now. I originally, you can see in my references, I've got Birch, and I've got the Noid. I got the Noid, an advertisement for the NES game, the poster for the NES game, and then a few miscellaneous, images. One is hand drawn. I think it's a sticker, and one is like a promotion still from Will Vinton Studios itself. And you can see that I have the Walking Dead Don't Dead Open Inside thing. What I was originally going to do is I was going to do those walls. I was going to do those doors. And it was going to be... what was it going to... How did I put that? Don't be annoyed. Don't be annoyed. Which is to say, hey, don't be annoyed. But it's actually, or what was it gonna? Don't be annoyed. Or I forget how I was gonna do it. I was thinking it over in my head, and I was like, it's a little too little too high concept, and I was going to have it reinforced with like one of those a traffic sign that had like the Noid symbol. He was going to be like the Noid character, just in, you know, black and red, with, you know, like the no symbol, like Ghostbusters. And it was going to be his silhouette, and I was also going to have the door being pried open with a pair of big white gloves. And I was thinking about it. I was like, and then I thought about this. I just thought about the birch thing, because I was like, he's kind of like a troll. He's kind of like a little, you know, trolly thing. Hey, May. How's it going? The original Noid episode, that was a whole thing. I had I planned out this, when I plan out my episodes now with, you know, like not thought balloons, like thought webs and stuff like that. And the analyzing what he was, like, is he a fairy? Is he a goblin? I just said, well, he's some sort of fairy folk. And that was the tail end of that idea. And I was like, you know what? You could just like boil that down to, he's a subspecies of gremlin. He's obviously some sort of fairy folk. Hellboy will have to handle him. And then that was like maybe, like what in the beginning of my videos, me making my video essays, what would have been like maybe a 5-minute segment, maybe 7 if I'm pushing it and like really over analyzing all the different type of fairies and stuff. I just got it down to like maybe a 2-minute joke. And I didn't have to go too much into what I was thinking of, which is that, this is the new American mythology, you know, like gremlins and stuff like that. Because, you know, you have ancient Europeans and they believe in fairies and the Yule lads and all the stuff like that. And then here we have some guy that'll just wreck your pizza, because we don't have to worry about being, you know, our children being eaten by wolves anymore. We just get slightly annoyed when our pizza is, you know, ruined. But yeah, like I said, I was debating that one. I think it's a cool concept. I still like it. I think the wordplay is clever. Let's see. I had a piece of paper here somewhere that I wrote it out and I did a doodle. It was going to be, don't be annoyed. So it was going to don't be annoyed. Saw a Pokeball firework out shopping the other day. A what? A Pokeball? Oh, you saw a firework shaped like a Pokeball. Cool. We don't have that. We've got the same sort of... We've got this display that's in every damn store, and it's just like... Also, they sell fireworks out in the parking lots, too. Like, they make an official tent and everything. Do you have an archive of all the FF videos over the years? I have a hard drive somewhere. But the thing is that I know some of them are messes, because some of them do have just like huge chunks of copywritten materials. The Breakies one, I think, had a song. I can probably edit it and then put it up. I think on YouTube, if you look around, some... It's not like when they started re-uploading the Nostalgia Critic episodes wholesale, or Red Letter Media episodes wholesale. But I've got some people that have that have reloaded some of my stuff. But anyway, yeah, I'm just like really happy with the way, just this sort of the soft airbrush style that I got out of this. I gotta rework it. It's been a while since I've actually done this, and I can tell you what, I will sing the praises of Paint Tool Seiya, but its brushes, its blend brushes aren't. Maybe they're not. Maybe I'm just not used to them. But I remember Paint Tool Seiya 1 being a lot better. Paint Tool Seiya actually did something where I would. How can I put this? Whenever there was a blur option and you can make a shape and you can blur it, and it kept its occupancy, or opacity is what I'm trying to say. It kept its opacity. In Paint Tool Seiya 2, when you do that, it doesn't keep its opacity, and it loses that like hard edge around the corners. I'm trying to figure out how to get a workaround, or I don't know, wait for an update or something. Hello, Arc. How's it going? But yeah, like I said, I need to just kind of figure out. And again, look at me. I'm using hard color lines, building the shape, and then I can just manipulate the lines around that shape and blend it in. And you can't, like I said, you can't do this with traditional medium. I mean, maybe you could, but it's a lot harder to just like work with both the color and the lines separately. Again, that was a huge personal triumph for me. Did you know the Noid was killed by the mayor in Family Guy? Yeah, I used a clip of that. The Noid is absolutely some kind of yokai. I like the idea of a fey creature who just hates pizzas. Probably. Yeah. Yep, and it was a bit of a long on that show. West. That was a massive undertaking. Sure, it'd be nice to see his anguish episode without the ableist slur. But it was yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of problematic stuff in my old stuff. There was one. I don't know what ableist slur I used in anguish, but if I did it, I apologize. I'm sorry. I sort of don't. I try not to do that anymore. There was one. I was rewatching the Connie episode, and there was just like a joke where I sort of alluded that because of Patty's new haircut, that she was a lesbian. She's still dating. I said something like, how did it go? From the looks of Patty's new haircut, it looks like she's still dating Doug's sister. And I kind of cringed at that. And I remember I just wrote that just to have a joke in there. I remember it's just one of those things where it's like, it's one of those, you feel like you need to have a joke in there for the beat. And I was like, kind of wish I hadn't wrote that. That's a little much. And then you think back on your process and you think, I didn't need to write that joke. There's no reason to do that. That episode still kind of holds up well. But I just... Because she is one of the best illustrations of the difference between the two shows. I don't even feel the scenes. Well, which won't be as bad. What's going on? What are we talking about? My script? Yeah, but he's already got the scripts done, so he mostly just has to do a few touch-ups and refill the seams. It's one of the villains. Oh, the Noid has no. What they did is that they just recolored assets in the I don't know how they did it or why they did it. Does the Famicom have more memory than the NES? Because in the original game that the Noid was a reskin of, a masked ninja Hanamaru, they were all original. They were all, yeah, but I think he was joking, Werewolf. They were all original characters, and in the Noid, they're just reskins of the Noid, which would both save on time of production. They would both save on time of production and also, I guess, save on memory, too. If you're just... Well, no, I guess the sprites would still occupy the same parts of the cartridge. Just because they're different colors doesn't mean they take up uh, the same. They wouldn't take up the amount of space. Interesting. I guess that would be an interesting question. I know they used to go get around certain things with like Mario Brothers by using both the clouds and using clouds as bushes at the bottom, like at the top and the bottom of the screen, and that saved on space. Yeah, and I think my style is. I think I've sort of gotten a little bit better as a digital painter. Like I said, I haven't done it in a while, but you can see me sort of like knowing when to blend the soft parts of the shadow and like hard lines for the highlights. At the tail end, hey Sierra, how's it going? At the tail end, I add some really nice, what do you call it, backlighting or something. And let's see, let me try and access some of my traditional education. I know that you have highlights. Oh, okay. So you have I don't even know what you call just the normal color. I know you have shadow, and then you have darker shadow, which that's not okay. That's not anything. Hey Tuso. But basically, there's like 5 layers. There's 5 stages of coloring. You get the highlights. You got the higher highlights. You got the normal base color. You got your shadows, and then you've got your deep shadows. So yeah, and then your sort of your backlighting, or your highlights for your back. I don't know. I gotta research my old. I gotta look through my old notes from college and figure out what the actual terms for those things. Highlights, lowlights. Thank you, Werewolf Cora. Still nothing on the Illumination Mario flick. They got the Universal theme park. Yes, they do. But again, I was just like really pleased with the way this took, especially since I did it like maybe in 4 hours, I think. Or maybe it was just 3. I'm really booking it. Let's see. What was it with the latest we learned about the Slicey Pizza John mascot? What is it in the... Oh, I haven't not read. Ugh. I haven't listened to the latest Mabim Bam. Oh God, what? I loaded up on a bunch of them. That's how I learned about the Noid coming back. Well, actually, I learned it from... was it you, Underwolf, or was it someone else who said that the Noid was coming back? Why did you do it in the Roger Rabbit style? Why did I do it in Roger Rabbit style? I don't think I did. I think I was just trying to emulate the Trolls style, and I was just trying to make it look like less of line art and more like maybe a CG... more like a CG render. Who told me about that? But anyway, the point is I loaded up on a bunch of those episodes before I went out to work with my uncle. Because taping up for painting is a long and tedious job. Especially when you're doing bathrooms and stuff, when you're getting ready for a paint job. So I just listened to all those all the episodes I haven't listened to, and just made it through the day. If I were going to do Roger Rabbit style, then they would definitely be like hard lines. Oh, pardon me, I'm going to get a drink. I would use like hard lines like they do in Roger Rabbit. Hello, Winnie, how's it going? I remember watching an episode of Family Guy where Brian is a taxi driver and Meg is dating the mayor. That's right, that was one of them. But that one scene, yeah, well, he said, avoid the Noid. I ordered a pizza, watch out for the Noid. And then he shows up. And there's a point in comedy when you can just add a character to your cartoon. And it would be the funniest thing in the world. Are you familiar with Noid 2, the fan-made 3D model platformer game? You know what? Guru Larry, he said you should give that... my mic is turned away. Guru Larry said that you should totally give that a shot on the Noid episode. And I downloaded it and made sure it could run. I made... oh, pardon me. I may play it for one night on a stream and give it a shot. I played a little bit just to make sure that it would run smooth. I guess I was looking at some screenshots. I didn't get too far. I was only on the docks. And I only kind of figured out... I mapped the keys to the controller. I figured out how to maybe double jump off of different surfaces. So it looks like it's a pretty good game. I can see why it won prizes if it keeps that sort... If it's a fan-made game and it keeps that quality. The intro was a little weird with the live action stuff, and him missing his yo-yo. Yeah, that's a good point. That was a little bit. But the Noid, that was such a weird choice to go for the Noid, a character that hasn't. I guess maybe because it's just been out of circulation. It's been out of circulation, and it's also modern enough to sort of be like recognizable, out of circulation, so maybe Domino's wouldn't care either way if it was in the commercial or not. And I was also going to say, it was at the tail end where that would still be fresh in people's minds. But also people were becoming more cynical of consumerism. So it was like maybe the last, like... I don't know. How can I put this? It was like maybe the last, like, mascot that was created when people weren't so cynical about those sort of things. And there you go. You can see me. I'm adding just a little bit of rust to make sure it looks, like, nice and grody. You see the Hey Arnold movie, the one released in cinemas, where the four main characters got highlights and low passes. And everyone else was just... Wait, no. Are you kidding me, Worms? You mean they all got... The main characters got all that, and the other ones didn't? Let me see something. I'll load up the trailer. I think the Noid falls under the 30-year... cycle rule, doesn't he? Yeah, he may. He actually does. But it was really shitty for them to bring him back because of COVID and shit. I'll have to look at that. I'll have to look and see if just those main characters get... Because are you talking about, like, maybe just certain scenes, or... Hey, Arnold. the movie. Oh, by the way, I've seen clips of the new Rugrats. Man, that is murky. Yeah, you're right. Look at this. I'm looking at the trailer. Arnold's got highlights on his hair and everything. And then even Gerald, who's sitting right next to him, he doesn't have anything. Yeah, that's weird. Arnold is talking to Mr. Green, and Mr. Green isn't shaded. And he just turned back to all the neighborhood kids. Oh man, I forgot. I had a crush on the, not Helga, but who's the redhead girl? She was just there for like a split second. I was just like, oh wow, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Helga is shaded and highlighted. Yeah! Whoa! Why they make a whole movie like this? Yeah, Gerald just has shading. And Arnold has shading, but he also has highlights. And Helga has shading too. But Arnold is the only one with shading and highlights. Yeah. Look at that. Even Gerald and Arnold are standing right next to each other. Gerald has shading, but only Arnold has the highlights on his gold hair. They're in the middle of a crowd, and Arnold is the only one colored. Wow, that looks weird. Lila, huh? Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, Phoebe is cute too. Wow, that's weird. I didn't know that. Thank you, Worms. That is insane. Oh yeah, that cousin episode. That sort of twin cousin ripped apart episode. Oh crap! Did I not put? I didn't. I guess I didn't put the picture here. Let's just go back here. No, come on. Oh, there you can see me futzing with some layers. Yeah, there you go. One thing I did was at the final, I added tears. I don't think there's tears in the original Birch image, but I just added like really subtle, like just like really soft, like a layer of white with like the opacity set really low, and I just thought that was a nice touch. Made it look a little bit more. Made it look just like a little bit more. I don't know, like emotional. Was it laziness or was it budget? I think what was supposed to happen was that was supposed to be a TV movie. I think what would happen is like the Save the Neighborhood was supposed to be the TV movie, and they wanted to have the they wanted to have. I'm trying to think how to explain this. They had the TV movie, and then they wanted to have the Jungle movie as the main movie. So, but then they bumped it up and they said, okay, we're going to make this movie the in the theaters movie. So I'm guessing at the last second, to make it look nicer, that they started to add shading on Arnold and Helga at the very tail end, just to make it look like just to justify the ticket, the price of purchase to get you into the theater. But anyway, that's weird. I'm gonna have to look into that. Wow. Well, anyway, that's it for this one, I think.